So we're very excited. It's been a great vehicle to do lots of things with companies and to find some great leaders and great companies to take public, like Austin and Luminar.
What are the other companies in the space that you think are fair competitors in terms of multiples and the like that investors should look at?
In our eyes, there's no competition. The Luminar and Austin clearly are leaders in the space. The technology is way further than anyone else, so we feel pretty comfortable with our comps.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a brand new Spac. Ticker symbol is GMHI, and they'll be merging with Luminar Technologies, and this is going to go down in the Q4 of 2020. Before we get into it, make sure to get your free stocks in the description when you sign up with Robinhood or Webull. Feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you find any value in this. I really appreciate all of you, and let's get into it. So who is Luminar and what exactly do they do? Founded in 2012 by CEO Austin Russell, Luminar is the leading autonomous vehicle and LiDAR technology company for consumer cars and trucking. Luminar delivers the world's first LiDAR sensor and software to enable autonomous consumer vehicles and trucking for volume production. The transaction proceeds will be used to accelerate commercial growth across its 50 partners and the expansion of its product roadmap for a turnkey, full-stack highway autonomy and proactive safety solution. Bolstered by the industry's first high-volume series production win for self-driving vehicles on highways with Volvo Cars. So the pro forma implied enterprise value is approximately $2.9 billion, and they have a market capitalization of approximately $3.4 billion. The transaction also includes $400 million of cash from Gores and an immediate $170 million in financing into Luminar, anchored by top-tier institutional investors including Alec Gores, Van Tuyl Companies, Peter Thiel, Volvo Cars Tech Fund, Crescent Cove, More Strategic Ventures, Nick and Jill Woodman, and Vecto IQ. So what is LiDAR? LiDAR is light detection and ranging. It's a remote sensing method used to examine the surface of the Earth. LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging, is a remote sensing method that uses light in the form of a pulsed laser to measure ranges to the Earth. These light pulses combined with other data recorded by the airborne system generate precise three-dimensional information about the shape of the Earth and its surface characteristics. So LiDAR systems allow scientists and mapping professionals to examine both natural and man-made environments with accuracy, precision, and flexibility. So that's what they will be using in their cars. And what is an autonomous vehicle? An autonomous vehicle is a car that is capable of sensing its environment and operating without human involvement. So I'm pretty sure you guys are all aware that Tesla has the self-driving feature, and you can have Tesla come to you in a parking lot. You don't even need to be in the car. But I think for the most part, right now, you need to be in your car when Tesla's in the autopilot mode. And I was curious what Tesla uses. Did they use LiDAR? And it says Tesla actually replicated the visibility of LiDAR. So definitely Tesla is the furthest ahead in this feature. And they will probably have their robo-taxi out, within 1 to 2 years. And that definitely seems like a bit of a rival for Luminar. But it also could present a partnership between Tesla and them in the future. I'm not sure. Definitely let me know what you guys think about that. So starting in 2022, Luminar's hardware and software will be integrated into Volvo's global vehicle platform, the foundation for their next generation of consumer vehicles. In parallel, Luminar's technology will also enable a new benchmark for vehicle safety, surpassing today's advanced driving assistance systems known as ADAS, with proactive safety features. So CEO Austin Russell told TechCrunch that they wanted to go public at some point, but with the momentum of the Volvo deal, along with the interest in the public markets, led the company to take this Spac route. Luminar is the latest startup and the second LiDAR company to IPO through a Spac this summer. So in June, we had Velodyne, which struck a deal with Graph, and they have a market value of $1.8 billion. And we also had 4 other electric EV companies IPO through a Spac. We had Canoo, Fisker, Lordstown Motors, and Nikola, and we are still waiting for some of those to officially merge. But as you can see, there's just a lot of competition, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Let me know in the comments, would you pick Luminar or Velodyne?
Yeah, I mean, there's clearly some other relevant companies that have actually gone out there even recently with Spacs. You see the Nikolas and Belladines of this world. Except, I think for this business model, it makes a lot of sense from an economic profile, margin profile in terms of what we're building out. For the autonomous space specifically, I think the reason why it makes sense in our case is that we actually have a nearer term opportunity to be able to generate some real revenue and ultimate profits with this. We're just hot off the heels of this landmark milestone for the industry with this series production deal with Volvo specifically, to be able to see this technology transition from the 50 partners that we're working with today from a development standpoint, actually making its way into the hands of consumers. So for the first time, people are actually going to be able to experience autonomy, see this commercialized, and to be able to have an early end to that curve is something that I think has been clearly very attractive and can get some great multiples.
So their future growth and margin profile as it compares favorably with peers. And as you can see down here, we have disruptive auto tech, vision-based, and computing platforms. Looking at their revenue, they are beating out everyone in the revenue category. The average gross margin, they could use some work on. And in the average EBITDA margin, they are doing just fine in that. So I thought this was very interesting, and I had to throw it in there. So looking at their financials, they do have some commentary highlights here. However, they really don't have that impressive of financials. Pretty small for now, and then it would really start picking up 2023 and on. A bit more. So yeah, they have negative gross profit in 2020, and then they would be positive in 2021 and keep growing year over year. So definitely something to think about. This might be one that you just watch for a while. I'm not sure how much, hype potential it has. One thing I did want to add is that Luminar is automotive only, and they don't really have any revenue according to the presentation, where Graph Velodyne has about 25% of revenue from automotive and 75% from other sources like robotics, traffic management, and CAD. So, in my opinion, as far as Spacs, I think Velodyne would be my current pick. That's not to say I would never revisit the possibility of getting into this one. It does seem like, very awesome technology for the future. But, just as a reminder, you don't have to be the first on every single thing. You can wait to buy in. You don't have to, just because it's cheap doesn't mean you need to buy in now. Some of the most successful investors don't even invest in IPOs. So just keep that in mind. Let the company kind of prove themselves to you first. As far as hype around this, I think it could have Graph-like hype. So we can see how Graph plays out and then kind of use that as a benchmark. It also depends if you're long or short on certain SPACs or just playing for the hype and profit. So I do think both can coexist, and I think both will be successful in the future. But when it comes to SPACs, since there are so many, I'm just very picky on which ones I really get into right now. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.
Stacking vertical, ooh, counting sideways, ooh, ain't by my cake, ooh, get out my face.